I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice
for all.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
No, we already did that. You're live.
Oh, we're live?
Oh,
Okay. Welcome to your NTV Morning News. I'm Luke Burnson.
And I'm Will, and we're coming to you live from the NTV News studio.
Today is Thursday, November 3rd, meaning we will block all of our even classes. Now to JJ for the weather.
Alright, at 9 o'clock, the temperature is going to be at its low, and then it's going to rise up during the day, and then the highest 70 at 3 p.m.
Is the radar?
Yeah, it's going to be cloudy throughout all Missouri, so you're just going to expect a cloudy day.
And the forecast.
And then today, tomorrow the temperature will rise up, and then Tuesday will be the same, go throughout the week.
All right.
Thank you.
It's like nice fall weather.
Thank you, JJ.
The after-school activities today are Heart and Soul Jazz Band and Show Choir, and Art Club has been canceled for today.
Today is Rika Tanyutan and Margaret Malo's birthday today. Happy birthday. Our Scary Story contest winner was Megan Braun, so we'll play it again today so everybody can see it, because not everyone did see it on Monday.
And now we have some special announcements from Ms. Liberty.
Good morning, North, as good as it can be after a Cubs victory in the World Series.
Congratulations.
But what a game! And to several. Actually, that was a great game. Hey, a few announcements. First of all, activities after school. Teachers and students, I need your help with this. We need to have first and last names on every pass, and any student who is assigned to a lab, they need to have what they need to work on written on that pass. And teachers, please don't sign it if they're not staying for your class. We're having a whole lot of people who just want to stay for social hour and have very little desire to stay for any work. So if you need them to stay for work or they have work to do for your class, feel free, sign it up. We want them here. But if it's not for your class, send them on down the road to find out who it is for and have that teacher sign it. So only math teachers should be signing math lab passes, for instance. Also, students, for our activities that have a sign-up sheet ahead of time, which means they are limited in number, like chicken club, like cooking club, if you cannot stay for that activity but you've signed your name, you need to let the sponsor know so they can let somebody else in. Yesterday, our cooking club, which is super popular and allows 10 kids, we had 3 that showed up. So we eliminated a whole bunch of people who would have loved to stay because we had 7 people write their name down and then they didn't stick around and stay. So that's not really fair to them. So you need to make sure that you're letting those sponsors know so we can get kids in those activities who want to be there. Friday classes. So tomorrow is a half day. You will attend periods 2, 4, 6, and 8. But just like any other day of our school year, you will start your day in your homeroom class. So when you show up tomorrow, go to homeroom. You'll stay there for attendance and announcements. And then as soon as announcements are over, you guys will go to periods 2, 4, 6, and 8. 6th and 7th graders, you guys have an assembly tomorrow. So we'll just go to class. When it is time for 8th hour, for 8th hour tomorrow, you will all report to your homeroom class or wherever you go for the academic time on normal Thursdays. That is where you will go for that 8th hour class. I am not aware of any of the big groups meeting like Stuco, like looking to the future tomorrow during 8th hour. So my expectation is that all students will go to their homeroom class in their team hallway at whatever time that is for 8th hour, unless they have a pass in their hand, in which case teachers go ahead and send them out to whatever group they have a pass for. Otherwise, everybody's going to homeroom tomorrow during that 8th hour academic time. The last thing that I have is that in the coming days, we will have an intruder drill. We haven't had one yet this year. The goal is not to freak anybody out. The goal is for us just to practice what we would need to do if, say, we had a dog get in our building that we didn't know. In that case, we'd call for a lockdown, and we just want everybody to lock their doors, stay in their rooms, because we got a dog in the hallways that we don't know, and we need to get it out and make sure that it doesn't bite anybody. So that would be a lockdown. If we do an intruder drill, that's a little bit different, and that means that there is someone in our building that we think might be dangerous. And so what we do during an intruder drill is that we will announce the location where we believe that intruder is. So if an intruder is near my office and we announce that, then anybody who's nowhere near my office should be getting the heck off campus. It almost becomes like a fire drill, and you guys are getting out of here, and you're getting out of the building. You don't need to like go all the way to Domino's by any means, but go all the way outside like you would for a fire drill. And then a few minutes later, we'll do an all clear, and you guys can come back in. Now, if you're over near my office, if you're in, say, the 8th grade hallway, and that's where we say an intruder is, then you guys would lock down until you hear a different location, in which case then you might adjust and get on out of there. So teachers during homeroom today, have that conversation with your students if you haven't, so that when we do that intruder drill in the coming days, people aren't totally confused. But just remember, the big thing is there may be somebody in our building one day that we think might be a little dangerous, and we want to make sure that we keep you safe. And sometimes the safe thing to do is to lock down and just kind of be in a room that appears really empty, and other times the best thing to do is to get the heck out of there. And you'll make that decision kind of on the fly based on the information you have. Okay, so be ready for that in the coming days, but don't freak out about it. When we do the intruder drill, our intruder will be Dr. Cochran. He will be dressed exactly like Dr. Cochran. He's not wearing a mask. He's not carrying weapons. There is nothing scary about this. We just want to practice reacting to like the different locations they may be so we get out at the right time. Does anybody in here have anything else before we leave for the day? I understand there are a series of stories. Our 6th graders have made some political ads. We have a scary story that we are replaying. So sit back, hold tight, enjoy your classmates' work. As always, remember,
once there was a house found on the edge of a beautiful cherry orchard, but not all is as it seems. A family moved in: Mother, Father, Charles, and Lucy. Lucy was 8 and was in for a surprise. Every night before she crawled into bed, she'd watch as the sun set from her window, and as soon as the last rays of light disappeared below the horizon, all the cherry blossoms would crawl back to a bud, as if clenching their fists, ready to fight an invisible enemy. But every morning, as the sun rose up in the sky, the buds seemed to grow calm and relaxed. Not only did the trees change, but so did her dreams. Every night, for the next 5 years, Lucy had the same dream of a figure. Once there was a house found on the edge of a beautiful cherry orchard, but not all is as it seems. A family moved in: Mother, Father, Charles, and Lucy. Lucy was 8 and was in for a surprise. Every night before she crawled into bed, she'd watch as the sun set from her window, and as soon as the last rays of light disappeared below the horizon, all the cherry blossoms would crawl back to a bud, as if clenching their fists, ready to fight an invisible enemy. But every morning, as the sun rose up in the sky, the buds seemed to grow calm and relaxed. Not only did the trees change, but so did her dreams. Every night, for the next 5 years, Lucy had the same dream of a figure, tall and pale, staring at her with black, deadly eyes, surveying her as if she were a statue. He drew closer and closer as the moon waxed until she could feel his breath on her cheek. but when the moon waned, he would slowly back away until he was at the doorway once more. But this month, the month of October, the man crept ever closer until you could only see his black, dead eyes. The night of Halloween, there was a blue moon. As Lucy was settled into her bed, she saw the man, staring, watching, stalking her from the doorway. She dared not scream, afraid of what he would do if she did. After a while, he took a step, piercing her with his deadly gaze. He kept slithering toward her with slow, deliberate steps, as if planning her demise. When he was a hairbreadth away, Lucy shut her eyes tight. As morning approached, her mother and father came to Lucy's room, only to leave again. Lying in the middle of the bed was a pool of dark crimson blood, and lying in the middle of the pool was a charcoal cherry blossom with dark red streaks. The next night, the figure came once again. As he approached the bed, he reached down and tapped the bud, and as the ripples reached the edge of the shore, he leaned close to the flower, as if to engulf it. In a rough voice he scoffed,
Goodbye, sister of mine.
and with that he laid down his mask and fled the room to wait in hiding for the next 5 years, until another blue moon would appear on this orchard. To this day, it is said that on Halloween night, in the light of the blue moon, you can sometimes see him with his chains of crimson and charcoal blossoms, one more every 5 years.
Gary Johnson is just what America needs. He will fight to bring our Afghanistan and Iraq troops home. He will cut government spendings and taxes. Our best America yet. Team Gov. Be proud, be strong, be libertarian. UN. Paid for by the U.S. Citizens Incorporated, not approved by Gary Johnson or Gary Johnson for President.
I am afraid of the 200,000 deaths each year caused by pollution and the 83% of Americans that can't afford college. I am Jill Stein, an expert in health risks of pollution, and I will fight to lower pollution created by businesses and also fight to make public colleges free.
I am Ajamu Baraka, and I am Jill Stein's running mate. Hashtag it is in our hands. I am Jill Stein, and I approve this message. Paid for by Jake Pilter and Ethan Poe.
Donald Trump was a real estate developer and businessman.
I'm going to miss you here so I can help with financial problems.
This just in. The students of the week are 6 East Megan Brightwished,
6 West, Jacob Baker.
6 West Mary Jones,
7 East, Vanessa Calloway.
7 East Hatcher Hart,
7 West, Christian Connors.
7 West Grace Simmons,
8 Central, Caroline Jones.
8 West Katie Provins,
Encore, Alyssa Turner.
and Wellness Megan Roche. But goodbye.
We are responsible for our learning, character, respect,